Hey y'all, it's your girl Mia.
And Whitney, welcome to the Black Coffee and Tea Podcast,
where you get your weekly dose of top stories, girl talk, and everything in between.
This is where you come when you need your coffee,
but want that tea. So get ready.
Next episode starts now. It's Thanksgiving time.
Thanksgiving. I'm not even a big Thanksgiving person. Like, I love...
What person are you? You don't like Halloween. You don't like Thanksgiving. Goddamn.
I like Christmas. I'm a Christmas person.
Well, hallelujah.
I'm a Christmas and a birthday person. I'm not.
Okay.
Now, when I say I'm not a Thanksgiving person, so I love the holiday of Thanksgiving. I just don't necessarily have to have the food. Because I'm not really a turkey person.
Oh, no. Girl, I like turkey.
I like, for me, for a bomb-ass Thanksgiving for me is like a seafood, like non-traditional stuff. Like, I definitely want to have like greens and like cornbread. I like stuffing. I like my mom's stuffing. Everybody can make stuffing. I love, or dressing, whatever you want to call it, depending on
we do dressing. Stuffing's on the stove, dressing's in the oven. That's the major
She does both, so she blends it. So
okay.
What else do I like? And more importantly, I just like when all of us as family get together. So I don't want to say that I'm not a Thanksgiving person. I guess I am. I just don't have to have the traditional food. Chitterlings, chitlins, fat bat, just.
Yes. I am a Southern girl. My family's from the South. I grew up on chitlins and dressing and macaroni and cheese and everything else, and a whole bunch of pork in the vegetables. And I don't get that food all the time, especially living in Southern California and not living next to my grandmother and my aunties and shit. So I adore moments like this when I can go to my family and get those Southern comfort meals that I don't get on a everyday basis. So
that's a word.
Thank God, because I'd be 285 pounds if I did get that shit on everyday basis.
We're having 45 people this year at my sister's house. She always hosts Thanksgiving, and it just feels like every year it's just gradually getting bigger and bigger, which is a blessing.
Yes.
But it's going to be pretty crazy. I'm trying to think of games to do. That's one of the biggest things too. I love to play games, and everybody be in your business. It's Thanksgiving. I love being around family.
Yeah.
I do. I love being around family. So, you're going back home to Maryland or Georgia?
No, I'm not going to Maryland. My mom doesn't live there anymore. So my family's in Georgia. So I'll be going there. I usually actually stay in California for Thanksgiving. So this is my first Thanksgiving that won't be here in the last
2 years. I don't know why I thought that you go home.
No, for the last 2 years I've stayed here because it's been pretty expensive to fly out, and it's like Christmas is less than a month after that, so I'm just like, I can do this one. But this year I want to go home. So I don't want to cook or have to think about that. Now me and my friend, we may do like a little Friendsgiving, maybe like maybe a brunch or something, nothing heavy, because last year we cooked too much food and it was just too much of a burden. I'm like, damn, I don't even have kids yet. So like imagine if I had like a real family waiting on this food, like the stress. But
so much fun. That's exciting.
Yeah. That's good. You don't have to cook for your family. Just go to your sister's house.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving is her holiday, and then Christmas, we decided that Christmas would be my holiday. So last year, Marlon and I, my fiance and I, for those that don't know, we hosted Christmas for the first year, which was good. We had about 20 people.
Okay.
And yeah, so that was really nice. This
Do
year
you
we're not
do
gonna
like a potluck where everybody brings a dish, or do you cook
We
everything?
do. We do. We do that at my sister's house too. Depending on if you can cook or not. We'll ask you to bring something.
If you don't get asked, that means you can't cook.
Yeah, we don't get necessarily asked to cook. We'll be like, okay, can you just bring the ice cream? Can you bring
The cake.
Can you pick up the cake? We want homemade dessert. So we'll say, can you go ahead and swing by? We already placed the order. Just swing by and grab those fruit teas. Yeah. So there's something for you to do.
Oh God.
Or to pick up.
Girl, can you bring some paper plates? We running low.
Yeah.
Napkins.
Yeah. We won't ask you to, use your services. Because everybody can cook, child. Everybody can cook.
No, that's so true.
Everybody can cook. And so yeah, so we will not host Christmas this year because this 2018, I'm sorry, has been a crazy year. I was gonna say fucked up year, but it could always be worse. But 2018 for me has been a pretty trying year, and I just want to close out these last few months with just easy breezy. I don't want to host nothing. I just want to show up. I'm getting married in March. I've got that still, smooth sailing from here on out. But what I'm saying is that we're just gonna easy coast this thing because I'm just trying to make it over to 2019, and I just need a new year. I need to start over. I need a do-over.
It's just so crazy because rewind like a year ago, you just was like your whole essence about everything was totally different.
It was. I had a great
You were so hype about the wedding. You were so hype about all of it. And now it's just like,
yeah,
let's get it on. Get it over.
Real life happened. Listen, real life, like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen those memes where it's like, when you're younger, you think your life is just going to go like this smooth coast where you just are like, I've got this, I want to be this one, I'm this age, this. And then God and life says, okay, this is how you're going to be. And it starts turning you all these different ways. That is the reality. That is the dun-dun-dun. And that was what I was presented with this year. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. So, but all in all though, I'm still very blessed. My family's really blessed. My kid is healthy. I'm healthy.
All you can ask for.
That's really it. All of my loved ones are still here with me, and that's really all that matters. And that's why I'm still very intentional about what I prophesy or profess out of my mouth. Because, like I said, you may one day be like, oh, this year was so fucked up, and then God does something that makes it that much more trying, and you're like, just when I thought it couldn't get worse. And so I'm just trying to make sure that what I say and what I put out in the world is, I have had a pretty trying, difficult year.
However, I've heard a lot of people say that. I had a great 2018. I don't know, but I've heard a lot of people say 2018 was tough for them.
Girl, my one of my close friends in Atlanta, we had a conversation when I went down there. This is a couple months ago. I was venting to her about my year. And she was like, girl, throw all of 2018 away. Throw it all away.
That's crazy.
The same thing for me as it's been for you. I was like, really? Because, when you're going in the thick of things, you don't think that anybody else really is going through it. So, yeah, a lot of people have said that about 2018.
Yeah. I've expanded a lot through, as just different layers of understanding. I've just matured a lot this year, but overall it's been a beautiful year in my opinion. But
I feel like since I had a really awesome 2015, 2016, and 2017, I just knew I didn't go into this year thinking it was going to be this way. But I mean, after I've gone through this year, I'm like, I was due. I was overdue for a year where it was like, bitch, slow down, gym shoes.
I think I'm used to it now. I don't know, ever since about 2015 and I moved to LA, it's just been one hurdle after the next. But it's like you get used to that. honestly, when things get too easy, it's kind of like, hold on, what am I not doing? I'm not pushing myself enough because shit shouldn't be coastable. So I don't know. I think it's all your perspective, and next year you're gonna be able to, handle so much more shit because of what you've been through this year. So
you're right. And a lot of this stuff, if I'm honest, I've gone through probably 60% of bullshit. About 30% of it was avoidable. When you look back, what I mean? And you're like, gosh, I wish I would have just taken the time to just make the right decision. Because by me not making that right decision or taking that time that I needed to, instead of just thinking and doing, I could have prevented and then the other shit that happened, it was destined to happen. Hey,
what can you
do? No matter what decision I made, shit was gonna happen. So God is good. Thanksgiving.
Grateful.
Excited to see everyone. Grateful. I can't wait. I'm excited. I can't wait to squeeze and hug babies.
Yeah, I'm thankful.
Have you seen the show Chad Loves Michelle? Chad Loves Michelle and Own. I haven't seen it either. This show is about Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, and she is now engaged to a pastor. His name is Chad Johnson. I think we've talked about this in a previous podcast. He actually was one of my youth pastors in Arizona because he's known to be a pastor in Arizona. And really happy for the couple. I really, really am. I'm going to be if I'm honest, when I first found out that they were having a reality show, I was like, one, it's not that I don't care, but I'd rather Michelle just kind of just do her, we as people know she's good. And then on the other part of that, it was like, didn't she just get out of the hospital for mental health, stuff? And
girl, well, that's what I was going to bring up. I think the reality show is already fucking up their relationship because it's some viral video I saw of him basically referring that did she take her meds or something because they got in some argument or people were getting on him and then people were getting on her, and I'm just like, see, y'all already letting people into your fragile ass relationship.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. My girlfriend from Phoenix, she's the one who reached out to me. It was like, did you see this? This is when they announced that they were gonna have a reality show, and I was like, the first thing that I said was, okay, she's already dealing with so many other mental things that aren't good for her and for her health. She's trying to deal with this off of
I didn't know anything about her having mental problems.
She deals with depression. She deals with severe depression. And we wouldn't have known much more than what she shared in previous years, which has been very little, but we would not have known in her more recent episodes until there was an interview she did, and it was right after she got engaged. She had a mental breakdown. She told she told her fiance, I have got to go. I've got to get help. I've got to leave.
Her now fiance, or she had another fiance?
This is the same fiance.
Okay.
So this is her only fiance. She's never been previously engaged. So, he was like, okay, I understand. The only reason why it became a thing in the media is because the story got leaked. So she got a call from one of her managers because, you're not allowed to have cell phones in those facilities, those mental health facilities. They want you there and nobody else. So she got a call, I guess, at the facility, and they were like, listen, they got wind of you being at this place. They're just trying to be respectful and coming to you saying, okay, is this the truth or not? Because we're going to release the story anyway. So she was like, you know what? From this day on, I'm going to tell my own story.
I still ain't really heard it. I'm just surprised people leaked it.
Yeah, people leaked it because it was some news.
Not a big headliner. One really.
It was a headline. It was definitely a headline.
Oh, was it?
When it happened. Oh, yeah. It was a headline. Now, whether it got.
I don't never hear nobody talk about Michelle, in any capacity, really. I'm not trying to be rude, but I've never, heard anyone oh, you heard that Michelle drama?
Yeah. Ever. Well, I think, and I think too, it's also who I've heard about it. I've heard about it. Okay. I've seen it. I've heard about it. It was on Shade Room. It was on everywhere. And again, it was so negative. It wasn't like it was a positive thing. Because then more people would ignore that. This was some tea. It was like, oh, she's mentally ill. Oh, is she okay? So all of that to say, the first thing that I thought about when I heard they were doing a reality show was like, this isn't going to be good, because I know she's always dealt with issues with Destiny's Child, not feeling like she was one of, because everybody was ragging on Michelle. She couldn't dance, she couldn't, she had an okay voice, whatever. Now she's engaged, happy moment.
I'd rather not see their relationship, because I've already.
I just wouldn't rather.
I don't like it what I see, so it's just like I'd rather just not know. It's something about it I don't like. It's something off with their relationship.
You're saying from like
just clips? The clips I've seen them talking, interacting with one another, it seems like something's off. And now that you say she has mental or depression, I can sense that, because she seems very like timid, like afraid to kind of like speak around him or something. Like I don't know, I get a weird vibe. Something off. But God bless them.
I feel the same way. If from my own personal opinion, watching them on the Breakfast Club, and I know Chad, like he's like, I've known him for years.
Wow.
And he's such a nice guy. I mean, he's such a sweet guy. In Michelle, I don't really know much of her other than she's in Destiny's Child, so I can't really speak to her character. But from things that I've seen, how they interact, I can't say from the clips, because clips, we all know they're edited to say and do things or whatever. But just from like how they've interacted on interviews, like whole segment interviews, it feels like she is very much, I don't want to say she's a bully, but she just seems very like, I just don't think she's that into him.
They seem very weird to me.
And then there's been things that how they even, like, not how they met, but just like, when he, finally, showed interest and stuff, it was kind of like, what? Like, or she'll throw up the race card thing, I'm not saying that I never was into white guys. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like I just chalk it up to be like, I don't feel like she's that into him as maybe he is into her. But again, I don't know their relationship. I don't know the details. God bless them.
That's why I feel like you're absolutely right. She shouldn't have did this reality show. Like, I don't even think it's not going to get good views. I know she's trying to get a check. But there has to be something else. I'm thinking maybe she should do like a gospel type of, maybe like a gospel reality show or something. Like
a reality show. I just wouldn't do it on my relationship.
Exactly. I'm thinking like a talent show, like for gospel people. I forgot they used to have
something
one of them
like that
with Kirk Franklin. But I feel like that's what she needs to do. Like, that would
be great. That would be great.
Just don't do this.
Don't do this. Do not do this, because the internets are already seeing that.
And you already depressed. Like, you don't want this drama. So.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, we're on the same page. We see each other.
We see each other. But what else was in the news? This is what I wanted to talk to you about, because I already know you're going to be like, I told you so. See, you spoke too soon, Whitney. So do you remember one of our earlier episodes for our faithful Black Coffee and Tea fans out there? We had an episode where we spoke about Nelly, and me and you got into a debate because I was like, I ain't never heard nobody else claim Nelly was raping them, so he's innocent. Okay. Now another person has come to the surface. And this is what I was waiting for. Now it's questionable. Now more people are coming out apparently and trying to say that they also were raped by Nelly. So it just took me back to like our second episode where I was just like, this is the first I heard. And I'm like, look now, there's like three more cases.
I started to send you the
Me too.
But I was like, nah. I was like, I ain't even gonna do it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But now it has more weight, but then also playing devil's advocate, it could be because he did pay off someone. Now people are trying to get paydays. Yeah. Once you pay off one person, you got to pay everybody off.
Listen, even in that original clip that we talked about this, I come from a standpoint, I don't really know what's what. I just think that I do think that there is something to think about, and it
Let me
doesn't
pull it up.
automatically, yes, it does not mean that you're automatically guilty if you pay off or you settle. That is not an automatic, you're guilty. However, I do feel though that when you do that, you know, it to me is more questionable, because if I feel like I'm 100% innocent, then I'm not going to settle. You know what I mean? And it could be a situation where, you know, we've all seen those stories too, where the different peoples of assault are different definitions. You know what I mean? It could be, I bumped into you. We've seen that in the media.
Well, I'm just now pulling it up, and I guess I assumed that it was like a physical type of assault, but from this little news report here from People Magazine, they're saying that this lady claimed that Nelly basically masturbated in front of her.
Ew.
That's what she's saying. She said it wasn't no contact, but he forced her to watch him masturbate in front of him.
Isn't that assault
in a
though?
private room? Yeah, it is. It is. But I'm just wondering. That's such a random allegation. I'm just wondering what the other allegations are. Like, is he a serial masturbator, or like, what is it? Like, I don't know. I'm just
like, which box do you fall in? Allegedly.
We're gonna say that. Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Wow.
But yeah, he's definitely in the news again.
Maybe that's why him and Ashanti ain't work out.
I loved them together, if I'm honest. I really did like
They're
them.
so cute together. Yeah, they were real cute.
So cutesy. Aren't they so cute?
Yep. Speaking of Ashanti, did you see that little thing I sent you with Cardi B going off?
I did.
The Jasmine Brand's comments?
I did.
Girl, why is she always out here trying to fight randoms in the comment section? I'm just like, Cardi. So for those who don't know, Ashanti's little sister, Shia, I don't know. I just know about her from that debut album where she had her on that one song. But Ashanti's little sister is like a model or something, or fashionista, and she apparently had some designs out. And once she saw Cardi's B new Fashion Nova line, she was like, there's a lot of similarities between my line and some of the pieces Cardi B has. And then Cardi B comes out and states, well, I already said that this was inspired by a lot of different people. Basically, like, yeah, it could be your shit because it's inspired by a bunch of people. Basically saying in a nutshell, I didn't design this shit. People gave me the ideas and I approved it, you know? Mm-hmm. And the Jasmine Man posted it, and Cardi was in the comments basically battling fans who thought that was messed up. And she was like, I'm in LA, run up. I'm in LA. What you want to do?
Girl, I just want Cardi to go stay in her business, honey.
God.
But you know, Cardi is going to be who she's going to be regardless. She's a mess.
And it's like, of course she copying shit. This girl just became famous and people are just throwing deals at her left or right. She doesn't even write her own music. Of course she's going to take fashion ideas and put her name on it. Like, they all do that. That's all I'm saying. Shia, don't be in these comments. If you want to make an impact, get you a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I agree.
Yep. So that's crazy. And if she did steal her stuff, then Cardi needs to pay her. Fashion Nova needs to pay her. Period.
And we live in a copycat society.
We do, but
we do. And if she did copy, yes, she absolutely.
If she can prove it, you better try to prove it.
Hopefully, they can get to some resolve on this, and it'd be okay. So I do have 2 questions that I'd like to talk about. These are just wild card questions that were on our social handle, Instagram, and they were placed up there around the time we first started doing questions on our page, you know, just random questions to get.
Sometimes we got some
to get our
questions.
Viewers, you know. Yeah, we got some good questions. We've actually answered a lot of them as I was going through them. I was like, we've touched on a lot of these throughout our podcasts, but
good conversation.
Anyway, these are wild card questions. So, the first one: Craziest place you've had sex?
Craziest place you've had sex, Mia?
I've had I've had some of the craziest sex different places, but the craziest I don't know, they're all crazy. Like I've got a few that are crazy. I don't know which one's the craziest.
I only know one that I think is pretty crazy for you.
What is that on the tree? Outside.
Not the tree. The tree. The infamous tree.
So funny.
Girl, you crazy.
Okay. Yeah, we're outside on a tree. I was on the tree. I'd say
See, this is why iTunes has us explicit content.
It is. Hide your kids. It's so funny because Whitney and I, we were together. We were down there for one of our friends' weddings in Memphis.
A ceremony.
And a ceremony. God, that's right.
I'm gonna call it a ceremony.
We're gonna call it a ceremony. We won't give her the full wedding. No. And yeah, so I came inside and Whitney called it. You know, I was like, Whitney, what did you say? What did you say? She's like, Mia.
Girl, you were so disheveled.
And
you smelled like bark.
I was like, girl.
Look, Mia, you literally smell like a fucking scout, a Boy Scout. Like it was bark of a tree, campfire-esque. It's just, you wild, girl.
Oh man. I'd say another place that would be crazy would be a school.
I cannot.
Like a conference room. So yeah, that's probably the craziest. I've got some other crazy ones, but they probably wouldn't be crazy. Like massage room, that's not really crazy because I feel like you're already in the mood for that. Not for sex, but like, you know, it's just that's not crazy. So,
I mean, it's crazy if it's a business, a place of business and people, you know.
Well, I feel like some people, like some of my friends have done it in the dressing rooms and, you know, that to me isn't really what I would say crazy, but okay, you know, if they're crazy, I'm not going to be like, no, it ain't. I just be like, oh, okay. So.
Do you?
Do you, boo-boo? I see you.
Spicy.
Okay, so you are going to skip that question.
Girl, I don't kiss and tell.
So okay, here's the second question. Can women have sex without feelings?
Some women can.
Do you feel like that? Could you have sex without feelings? Like, could you just have sex with a guy without like that? Oh, he didn't call me in 2 days, or you know, could you do that and not catch feelings? Or are you the type that's like, no, because generally if I am going to have sex with you, I've gotten to a place where there's been some sort of feelings, so therefore, you know.
Yeah, I don't like having sex without feelings.
Got it. I don't think. Yeah, I think.
I mean, I wish I could, but it don't work for me personally.
Yeah. No, I can't. I can't. I've tried, but it was a fake try because it was just convincing myself that like, oh, I can just, you know, we can just have sex, and it's like, but yeah. I do know some women that absolutely can, so I know it can be done.
It can be done.
The DNA of them are more of a man genetically, not genetically, but just how men, their DNA is like, they just can be unattached, you know? And I feel like some of my friends that...
Not their DNA is a man, I can't.
Their DNA is a man, but I'm saying like how men are genetically made up, they just don't some of them just cannot feel.
A lot of them can have emotionless sex.
Yeah. And women, I feel like in the mass part of all of us, we cannot. But I do know that there are some, including a few of my friends, that can. And I'm like, how? I'm like, girl, just because this is something that I want. He's got it. He lays it down. And then we go our separate ways. I'm like,
yeah. I'm not even going to play myself like that. I can't.
But I don't know. I just think that even when women, sometimes I feel like too, we say that just to be, just to like
act like you don't care.
Act like we don't care.
It's a defense mechanism for a lot of women.
Yeah.
But in some cases, I'm not going to say all women, because there are some women who truly can just see sex as sex, and it's nothing.
For sure. For sure.
But I guess that's a really girly.
I think that that's a gift. That if you are able to be one of those people, that's a true gift, because, you know.
Yeah. To each his own, you know.
To each its own, you know.
That would do me no good in my life.
Yeah.
Period. Like, that's either going to mess me up emotionally or energetically, because I'm a person, like, I just believe sex is like, you going to take some of this person's energy, and this person going to take some of your energy.
Old prize.
And, yeah, for real. So it's not good for me.
Yeah.
More power to the women out there doing the damn thing, pimping these niggas.
But I do feel like, though, that if you, like, so for me, like, I've been in a situation where, you know, me and another person have had an understanding. Like, we both had feelings for each other, but we just had, like, an understanding. And it worked. It did work. So I think that's another component as well. Like, it doesn't mean to say for me that I always have to be in a relationship with someone to have sex. Like, I've been in, you know, interactions or situationships where we have not been in a committed situation, but we've decided to have sex, and, you know, for a long time, and it's worked. But I do feel like, though, it's nonetheless, it's still like I had feelings, like we both did, if I'm honest. But since I was one of those people that had to deal with my own feelings, you know, I did find myself some days, you know, since I don't know if this is because I'm a Pisces or because I'm a woman or both, but, you know, right. I find myself dreaming and daydreaming, and my mind goes places where it probably shouldn't, you know, and it's
natural.
Like, and I have to, like, reel it back and be like, okay, you cannot be thinking that, because, you know. So I think that that's another component as well to women being able to have feelings or not have feelings when it comes to sex. But generally speaking, I do think that it's not normal for women to not have feelings by having sex. If you're one of those women out there that can, it's great, but I just don't think from a mass standpoint that it's normal.
That's some interesting question. It makes me think of that post that you put up. I think you put it up on our Instagram at BCT Podcast. But it was, what was that, from the Sister Circle or something? I think Shabram put it up too. It was like, was he like a pastor, or like, is he from medicine? Somebody. Yeah. And he was basically like a woman. He got a woman, his wife, who was better than him, and he's still not anywhere as good as his wife or something. And something about, like, she covers him and is not a lid, but she covers him or something. I was a little confused by it, but then I read all the comments and I listened to it a few more times. I was like, I kind of see what you're saying.
I think so.
With parts of that I agreed and disagreed with, though. So
I think that even the parts that I disagreed with, because essentially he was just saying that his wife was a shoe that he had to grow into. So,
yes. Okay.
You know, with that being said, I know this happens way more than it doesn't, you know, where women, we arrive at a place where we're ready for a serious situation, and that for whatever reason that man just isn't, but we stay around, we stick around. Some may get a ring, some may just get more years in the relationship.
Girl.
And then some may separate and they've wasted time.
Like,
but either way, I feel like it's way more common for women to arrive at a point where I'm ready. This is the guy. He'll get it. I'll help him get there. You know, he just needs a good woman. And for that situation, that's what that was.
Right.
You know, and I think if I'm honest, looking back at this though, in their situation, I'm almost 100% sure when they were going through this, he wasn't like, baby, I'm not ready. And did it like, I'm sure he was alluding and giving her, having conversations with her like, babe, you are the one, you are it. That's all I want to do. Like, this is, you know, I am ready. And then through his actions showed he wasn't ready. But it's hard for me to believe that she knew you just absolutely were not ready ever at that time, and she just put up with this and helped you get to where you are, and now you're somewhat a little bit better but still not there. I just personally think it was how some people are. They do.
Yeah, they were calling her stupid in the comments. I don't even know who she is or who he is. I don't know them, but
because there was this little bit of like mother-son type feel to it, like where you felt like she might have been raising him versus standing alongside of him and helping him get to it. Was like kind of like a nurturing, like mother-son type thing. It was kind of weird, but in the whole grand scheme of things, I thought that the conversation was beautiful, because I don't think that we as people ever will necessarily arrive where we need to be because we're constantly growing. However, I do think that it's great that he recognizes what she was to him and what she continually obviously is to him and will ever be. But unfortunately, I feel like...
Who are they? Well, do you know who they are? Are they?
Yeah, so he's a pastor. He used to preach under Joel Osteen. You know, Joel, for those that know Joel Osteen, he's got a church in Texas.
Y'all know Joel Osteen.
We all know Joel Osteen. Love Joel Osteen.
I have reserved opinions about Joel Osteen.
I love Joel Osteen. I don't know him as a man, but through his conversation, through his teachings and stuff,
but his actions don't align with his teachings all the way. But
I like the way he teaches, and it's very hard for me to find people that resonate with me. Like TD Jakes is another one that does that for me. Love his
I love everyone's teachings, but when your actions don't align with your teachings, then it discredits your teachings. So you got to have that integrity as well.
I mean, people are human, though. I feel like, you know, we put these people on pedestals like they're...
I don't put preachers on pedestals, but my thing is you can't... every human's the same. Like, if you're going to say something and I see you acting out differently than what you say, then what you say has less impact on me. Like, that's what I feel like with not non-celebrities and just real life people. Like, you can't preach one thing but then go around acting another way. Then I'm just gonna be like, yeah, you're human, but I don't look up to your word or anything because you don't even follow it. So
okay, I don't know them to be continually doing things that are against what... I mean, I don't know. But I see
there was a big thing in the news with him, like, you know, with the whole mega church and him denying entrance to all those people that were like dying and didn't have a place to go, and when the city got hit or whatever. But you know,
but then there's tons of people that are also saying that didn't happen, so I don't know who to...
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
but his teachings are great.
A lot of people saying that, but then I also saw a ton more saying that no, they vouching for his character. But yeah, so Pastor John Gray, he taught under Joel Osteen, and now he's got his own church in Texas called Relentless Church. John Gray is awesome as far as, again, he's someone who, when I've heard him preach on, you know, various different platforms, YouTube being one of them, he speaks to me, and that's just who he is. So yeah. That's really all I can say on that. But
Okay. I don't know why I thought he was from Married to Medicine.
no,
Okay.
no. I don't
Okay.
think he's now. He been on a reality show? I think he was about to be on a reality show, or maybe the reality show actually came out. I don't remember because I never saw it. But it was that pastor reality show. There was a reality show about
Yeah,
pastors.
I remember that.
And the one reality show that I did see that made it on TV with the pastors, he was not on that. He wasn't on that. But there was supposed to be another one in another city, along with what's his name? Bryant. What's his name? Pastor Bryant that got that 17-year-old girl pregnant. Pastor Jamal Bryant. That was the big scandal. Because, he was married to Giselle.
Candles with pastors.
He was married to Giselle from Real Housewives of Potomac.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking about or something.
Yeah, no, he was never on the Real Housewives or anything like that, but she was married to him at one point for years, and he got a 17-year-old pregnant. The church,
I'm not surprised, girl.
There's
There's always some shit with these pastors, always. I mean, I'm not gonna say every pastor. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not trying to bash the church, but it's a lot of shit.
No, I agree.
Church
but
that is hidden, and it's just like people don't even question it because it's like, oh, they're a pastor. This is a church. No bad can happen here.
Because
it's like it's the worst place.
Because we as people, the church is one of the biggest hustles. Because we as people, we thrive on hope and faith and wish in that if you can give people a mustard seed of faith and hope, they'll keep coming back. And that's honestly why these churches have the influence that they have, because it's like, it's a leadership, it's a power. It's like, I'm an extension of God. We all are. But I'm saying though,
that's what people fail to realize. Like they can really do that themselves. You don't need a person to facilitate that relationship between you and God. I mean, you can if you don't know how to, but you don't need that. You have every capability to facilitate that relationship spiritually with yourself. Like you don't need a leader spiritually. God created you to connect with them just like this pastor can connect with God. Like there's no difference. So, but people don't know that. And so they idolize the church, they idolize. And because of that godliness, they get away with a lot of shit behind closed doors, and no, it's never questioned. It's like just now in the recent years, a lot of stuff is coming out with these pastors, but shit, it's been happening for fucking centuries.
Oh yeah, this stuff used to happen because I grew up in the church. I was in church. My mom, she played in the church. She played piano and organ, and I grew up in the church like 7 days a week. This rehearsal, we got the cantata coming up, we got this. And I saw it firsthand, stuff was happening, and it's always been a part of my life where I knew the church was crooked, and but not all churches, not all pastors, whatever.
Right.
But I do love. There are some people that are, quote unquote ordained to give word and ceremonies that I really do enjoy listening to. TD Jakes is one of them. By God, he is one of my favorites. I've never heard one word spoken about him, any scandals, nothing. And he's very open to say that like he struggled growing up in the sense of, he was one of the streets and, all that kind of stuff. But as far as just like, cheating and like, the way he moves or like living in mansions and spending his money on this, like I've never heard anything spoken about him in any way. And as far as everyone else, they're just kind of that I listen to. It's just more so if I catch him or if there's a clip that went viral, I'll be like, oh, I need to look at that, something like that. But yeah, it's something to be said. Just, you got to make sure you connect with certain energies, because that will to me that'll creep into your because I guess what I'm saying is like some music that I listen to, if I'm trying to be in like a certain space, I cannot listen to Tupac. Like I can't listen to Tupac. I don't care how much I love him, but I do believe there's certain shows that I can't watch if I'm trying to be on if I'm trying to vibrate on a higher level. I'm like, I can't watch that right now. Not because that is a direct reflection of how I'm going to act. I'm just saying, though, that there are things of the world that you do kind of have to turn on and turn off. Social media is another thing. I do recognize that it's probably good for me to step away from social media in different moments of my life. So that way I'm, I have certain control over things than me getting lost, because it's so easy for me anyway, it's easy for me to always have my phone and like not be engaged in conversations, and, just recognizing things that I feel like I need to tune out just to kind of get back to my place of solace. So I'm trying to go back to church a little bit more, especially with Carter. I grew up in the church, and I want him to have some sort of background or understanding of, so that way when he gets older, if that's something he chooses to do on his own, he can do it. But yeah, I'm just trying to recognize certain people, and who I want to continue to support. I think is the biggest thing. Who you want to give your money to, and who you identify with. But yeah, so he got a lot of heat. Pastor John Gray, his wife really got majority of the heat from the things that I've seen. But God bless them as well and their family.
Yes. Well, it's been lovely.
Yes, it has. Always.
We are wishing your family a beautiful Thanksgiving from us here at the Black Coffee and Tea Podcast.
For sure. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to the Black Coffee and Tea Podcast, available now on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
And if you want to be a part of the BCT fam, make sure you follow us on Instagram at BCT Podcast.
Until next time.